Greetings to Riva. My name is Wong Zheng Yee, and today I'll be presenting about microplastics. So what are microplastics? How are they defined, how are they found, how are they discovered? So microplastics are actually tiny plastic pieces that develop during the production of commercial products as well as the breakdown of bigger plastics. So microplastics are a pollutant that may be dangerous for both animal and also the health and for both animal health and also the environment. So as the name suggests, microplastics are tiny particles of plastics, and they are officially described as polymers with a diameter of less than 5 millimeters, in which the diameter is actually smaller than the typical pearl used in jewelry. So the first microplastic was discovered by Professor Thompson's team in the research they conducted in 2004, in which they showed that microplastic particles had accumulated since the 1960s and are present in oceans worldwide. So microplastics can be divided into two types, which are primary and also secondary. So for primary microplastics, there are small particles found in cosmetics and other products intended for commercial use, as well as microfibers shed from clothes and other textiles like fishing nets. So as for secondary microplastics, they are produced when bigger plastic objects, such as water bottles, break down. So breaking down of the plastic is due to the exposure to environmental factors, mainly the sun's radiation and also ocean waves. So like plastic objects of any size, microplastics have the drawback of being difficult to decompose into harmless molecules. So plastics can take hundreds or thousands of years to decompose, and in the meantime, they wreak havoc on the environment. For example, on beaches, microplastics are visible as tiny multicolored plastics in sand. Whereas in the oceans, microplastic pollution is often consumed by marine animals, and some of this environmental pollution is from Italy, but much is the result of storms, water runoff, and also winds that carry plastics into our oceans. And also for single-use plastics, which are plastics items meant to be used just once and then discarded, for example like straws, they are the primary source of the secondary plastics in the environment. So for the statistics part, researchers actually estimated that 10 million metric tons of plastic waste and microplastics enter the oceans each year, and project that the total amount of plastic waste circulating the world's oceans will be 150 million tons by the year 2025. So the area that I focused on is at Sungai Damansara in Shah Alam. So the issues that I found in this area is due to the overflowing of rubbish bin. So in Malaysia, cities like Kuala Lumpur, Shah Alam, Kajang Iskandar Puteri, Georgetown, and also many others often experience flooding, although the scale of this flood is typically smaller with a shorter duration. But however, when flood happens, rubbish will be carried into the river, and this also includes microplastics causing water pollution. And of course, in overflowing rubbish bins, we tend to spot microplastics that cannot be actually swept off or actually be picked up. And when floods happen, they will actually flow into the river itself, causing pollution. So these are the ways to counter the problems, in which you can avoid single-use plastics, in which plastic items eventually break down, producing secondary microplastics that find their way into the environment. So we actually find a ton of plastic used in the retail industry, especially when it comes to plastic bags. So in order to counter this problem, we should avoid using plastics by bringing like fabric bags or backpacks for shopping, or asking for paper bags instead of plastic bags. And another way is to buy only plastic-free products, in which you can actually keep refilling the bottle itself instead of buying the same bottle, the repeated bottle again and again. And also reduce shellfish consumption, as certain shellfish tend to take in microplastics, especially when plastics are actually thrown into the ocean. And also by taking public transport, it can actually solve the problem also, as tires from private transports are a major source of microplastics, making up to 28% of the microplastics found in the ocean. And also the last two be don't microwave plastics, and also regularly dust and vacuum our environments. So these are actually some of the campaigns conducted at Sungai Damansara in order to reduce water pollution by MSU, in which they actually carry out the River Trail project, and also they set a new Malaysia record with River Revival project, in which they actually help to reduce the water pollution. So that is all from me. So before I end, the plastics we use come back to us. So reduce plastic, reduce microplastics, save the earth, and that is all from me. Thank you.